Hey, mania, we're going to be reacting to a Seth Zintek video, and this one is Fantastic Dizzy Review, Yolked Edition. And a long time ago on my gaming channel, I have played a Dizzy game, and I think it's like one of the random DOS games that I played. It was like random DOS games that started with D or something like that, but I liked it. I had no idea what I was doing, but it was unique in a way that you play as an egg. And yeah, I don't know what Fantastic Dizzy is, but I mean, that's why I'm here, man. Seth is gonna explain. It's weird because considering I guess the subject nature and like how that game plays, I didn't really think it would be up Seth's alley, but I guess we'll find out.
Hey people, Seth here. To address some allegations, I'd like to ask a simple question. Are you really upset because I was on the flight log?
I the timing of this, I did not know he was going to talk about this. I did not know he was going to mention this. Oh, the timing, just because like recently stuff has been revealed, right? So yeah, I was not expecting this.
Or are you upset because you were never invited? Fantastic Dizzy is a game which, unlike the highly optimized projects of today, is less than 800 kilobytes and fits on a floppy with room to spare. It's
How big was Ark? 86. Oh. Oh no, Ark was 436 gigabytes. Jeez. Like last I played it back when my PC wasn't that great, and it only needed like 100 at the time. Now it needs 400. Jeez. What did they add in there?
projects
Wow.
of today is less than 800 kilobytes and fits on a floppy with room to spare. It's a DOS game, so we play it on DOSBox. It's a tale older than time. You are an egg called Dizzy, and your egg girlfriend has been kidnapped. Save her before she gets groomed by the vaguely Arabic-looking wizard. Along the way, solve puzzles.
So yeah, like the plot is not anything special, right? I mean, we've seen it since Mario times, but like you said, the subject matter where you play as an egg, like that seems pretty unique.
Save her before she gets groomed by the vaguely Arabic-looking wizard.
Anyways.
Along the way, solve puzzles by using the right item. You can only hold 3, and the only way to reshuffle them is by dropping them on the ground. It's a simple system, but it's an adventure game, so everything is an insane leap of logic. Deadly spikes, Persian rug, burning fireplace, bucket of water, which looks exactly the same as the empty bucket of water, but has to be dropped into a specific pool of water to become the bucket of water. Or else it doesn't work, and you have to backtrack all the way to the graveyard. Also, because you're an egg, you roll like an egg. This can filter a lot of people as you'll roll into enemies. The Yolked village is infested by spiders and snails, while the city is overrun by shape-shifting Hasidics. But none of these are as bad as the butterflies, which do no damage, but stun lock you long enough that you die by something else, as evidenced by the fact that he is healed not only by eating fruit, but by the mere presence of precious stones. Dizzy is a Semitic life form, and Grandpa Dizzy is probably some kind of century egg, which explains why he has to live in hiding out of fear of becoming an Asian man's delicacy.
Like, it seems challenging, but I kind of want to say that DOS games back in the day, they were either that they were really challenging or they were really simple. I think. There's only a few games that feel like they're in between in terms of difficulty. Just, I don't know, like back in the day, I remember playing a lot of them just fine, but then, like, not, I mean, kind of years ago, right? But I tried getting back into them. Like, I played Jazz Jackrabbit 1, I think for a video, but like, it felt so much more difficult now. Same with, I think it was like Lenny Luce, like even some Flash games that I thought that I played as a kid. Now that this seems like they're so difficult. I mean, granted, it's not impossible, but it felt more difficult than I like I imagined when I played it as a
The
kid.
objective of this game is to collect 250 stars that lag your screen each time they appear. This is the intended experience, as increasing your CPU cycles will make the extra life minigame impossible, as the hourglass is tied to your clock speed. These stars are non-negotiable, and you can't finish the game without them. Some are sadistically placed, and you can't get to them except by falling in a particular manner from several screens away,
Oh, wow.
let alone know of their existence. At some point, the game even expects you to trick shot yourself against butterflies to get the final stars, while platforming on a series of clouds that sink the longer you put weight on them. But that's
That
late
seems
game.
interesting.
Early game is getting filtered by the minecart, which boils down to a single strategy. Guessing. You guess wrong, you get splatted. Or in my case, you take the wrong exit and get stuck on a beach. At the time, I didn't realize you could take the entrance back to the mine and drown in the ocean. Then I came back after the bubble riding minigame and got filtered all over again because I brought my aqua lung, but no flippers, and I couldn't swim out of the bottom cavern. Dizzy has taught me that I haven't progressed very much as an adult.
That's so wild that you can still, like, you have ways to breathe. Once you get the way to breathe underwater, you can still soft lock yourself because you didn't get the weight, you didn't get the ability to swim, just because you just sink down. As I thought you, don't you float though as an egg, or is that like? I remember there's like an experiment that with like oil and water, and you can like put an egg to float in the middle or something like that, but. Anyway,
And I'm struggling with an hour-long video game that's old enough to be
It's only
the
an hour
child
long?
bride that died giving birth to me. At least the music is nice. In general, this is a very nice game that you could show your grandma. It's not some NTR RPG Maker flop that would surely break her pacemaker. In the end, you fight the wizard. He's not very good at magic, but he has a mirror, which
What?
is good.
What game was that though? Did Seth do a video about that? Just for maybe I'll react to that. Maybe.
Break her pacemaker. In the end, you
It
fight
look-
the
it
wizard.
looks
He's not very
familiar,
good
but
at
I don't think
magic,
I
but he
reacted
has
to
a
it.
mirror, which is good at reflecting magic. He's turned to stone and dies, presumably as an involuntary celibate. Your reward is a kiss from your fair maiden, which I think is
Hey.
reward enough. Recently, I had an epiphany. I cover many games where I have a script, I have footage, but it's not long enough to justify a full video. Then I realized the title of the video doesn't have to be accurate. So, I have no lack of content, which is important when I'm committed to giving sponsors the lowest quality for the highest rate of return. There are three things I value in this life: my mother, my data, and your mother. You know who else
Okay.
loves these things? Data brokers.
Nord?
Remember, everything you do online can be traced
Or is this
directly to your
Express?
IP address via your service provider. But they wouldn't sell your personal information to governments and
Or
private
is it a
companies just for a
different
quick
VPN?
buck, would they? Data brokers use this information to piece together what kind of person you are and sell you ads.
Trying to figure out what
Just
kinda
last week, I
sponsor
googled
this
one
is.
C++ tutorial. I now own 6 pairs of programming socks. I don't even know how it happened.
Wait, what was on the screen?
++ tutorial. I now own 6
Oh, oh, right.
pairs of programming socks. I don't even know how it
Programming
happened.
socks.
Such is the horror of a dreaded data broker. How did they know it was me? Because in one brief moment of foolish weakness, I forgot to turn on ExpressVPN.
Oh, it is Express.
ExpressVPN masks your digital footprint and stops those pesky brokers in their tracks. And it's not just brokers you gotta look out for. Ask yourself this: who owns the Wi-Fi you use to browse all your favorite content? Is it your mom?
Right. Like I'm not a sponsor, but I have used them before. So
My mom? Your boss?
I mean, it
Perhaps
worked.
your local public library. Well, if you and your
Really-
wife
really easy
keep
to
having these
use as
not-so-secret rendezvous on their Wi-Fi, they can still see everything, even in incognito mode. Now, your mother will
Right.
disown you, your boss will garnish your wages, and the library will revoke your card. Now, your JoJo library date is canceled. But Seth, I hear you cry, all this computational back and forth sounds really complicated. Not to worry, my...
also, I think there's like a comment or two saying that I should react to Germa when I was like asking about the TF2 related stuff. But any videos in particular? 'Cause I think that comment was like, I'll have to like double check, but I think that comment was just saying that I should just react to his stuff, but
My friend,
I think it's nothing
ExpressVPN
specific.
does all the hard work for you. Just turn it on, hit one button,
Wait,
and
what is
voila.
that?
All your network traffic is sent through a secure encrypted tunnel. How strong? So strong it would take a supercomputer 1 billion years to crack. Find out how you can get free months of ExpressVPN for free by visiting expressvpn.com/Seth or by clicking the link in the description below. What if I told you an action RPG released 2005 that's over 19 years old had fully working multiplayer? Until recently, when some
That was such an abrupt transition.
corporate goon came in and ordered the unpaid intern to manually disable the multiplayer button. That's not a joke. They're just that petty. The latest copy of Dungeon Siege 2 on Steam presents you with a menu where the multiplayer is grayed out.
Wait, I get that might be bad in this situation, but Activision could do it. Why couldn't Ubisoft? with the crew, right? just disable the multiplayer and let people enjoy the single player. Not just disable the whole game.
So naturally, people reverse engineered it, and it's working perfectly. We managed to finish the whole campaign using only the most premium gaming platform. It's old, it's scuffed, and it plays adverts that can be blocked by editing your System32 host file. But guess what?
Right.
It has charm. This game infects my consciousness.
I kill you first, green lady.
I was not
There's quotes
expecting
from the
this.
tutorial burned into my brain.
Those must be the Bracken we learned about as children. Let's take them out. These Bracken are as weak as Calrathian ale. These creatures remind me of our scuffles with the Tackler. Tough. These wooden creatures are weak to fire. Too bad I'm not a combat mage. These Ketrel are tough. Next time we see one, use my brutal...
If only games nowadays had like something like this, like pay attention to enemy weaknesses listed at the top of the screen during combat, like that. I feel like if there was some sort of way for people to learn this in other games, that would have been so great. I'm not naming like the people I watch, right? But when I seen some like Guild Wars, like since there was like a recent boom of like Guild Wars 2 stuff, like I've seen some streamers, YouTubers play it like fresh since they never played it before, and yeah, there was stuff on the top like the break bar, or I guess the defiance bar, or whatever you want to call it. There was some like status that people need to pay attention to, but since there was like no warning like this, they just ignored it for the most part. And yeah, it could have went on, it could have like progressed faster, but had they paid attention to it. But I mean, they still progressed, but it took a lot longer. It's just, yeah, I wish they brought stuff like that back.
Fire! Too bad I'm not a combat mage. These Ketrel are tough. Next time we see one, use my brutal attack power on it. That'll surprise them.
The story is very simple. You and your friend Drevin enlist in PMC Wagner. Before dying, he gives you his magical plot armor amulet.
We have completed
Right.
our task. When can we expect our pay? Look out!
And then he dies. The rest doesn't really matter. You don't have to pay attention. Just kill things and have a good time.
Right.
Oh my lord, I don't care. An age ago.
Wait, I just noticed their names.
Just kill things and have a good time.
Oh my lord, I don't care. Wait,
An age ago.
Wait, I skipped
don't care.
Anyway, we get captured as war criminals because we attacked a UNESCO heritage site. Understandably, the Dryades don't like us, and they've put good boy compliance collars on all the prisoners. One of them
Right.
makes a break for it, which isn't very smart. On the other hand, you did enlist as a mercenary for people who look like this. They say, don't judge a book by its cover. I say, physicality reflects inner state, and all the most horrible people I've ever encountered look like something that escaped the minds of Moria. The prison warden gives you a chance to prove yourself by burning down a bunch of Morden watchtowers. This is one of several situations in this game where you have to think. Don't worry, there's not many. There's also not much dialogue in this game, except for Daru. Daru never stops talking, and she will begin her monologue in the middle of a fight. For this reason, I always
Jesus.
recommend putting Daru in your party because it's very entertaining to get wiped by a dialogue box. This game can be quite intense. I'm not kidding when I say it's about 1-2 taps and you're dead. Free if you're a tank. And even a trash mob encounter can leave your party dead.
So it's an action RPG like Diablo? Because I saw like stuff like gold on the floor that you can pick up, but or is it more strategic involved? Like, is it more like Fallout, the original Fallout? I mean, I never played this before.
I'm gonna
So.
be real. This ain't looking good.
So it's important to have a plan, build, or idea
looks like an action
of what
RPG.
you're doing, which we did not.
I
You
think.
level up by doing damage of a particular affinity, melee, ranged, combat, or nature magic, and you can mix and match freely. Don't like your mage? Pick up a sword. Don't like your fighter? Take a bow. There's nothing
Okay.
stopping you from leveling every single tree except free time and practicality, and there's no limitation on what
So it's like,
any of your
Final Fantasy
characters can be.
14.
Did my friend have to relevel Tar as a combat mage? No, but it's funny. The Broken Worlds expansion adds 2 hybrid classes, Fist of Stone and Blood Assassin. One of these sucks ass. The other one lets nature mages have more armor than the tank. If you find yourself dying, just get more armor. There is no
Right.
other statistic that matters for the average player.
So it is like
Leveling an
Diablo.
affinity lets you put skill points in that tree, and certain combinations unlock powers. Powers
Hey.
win fights. Everything else is irrelevant. It's just filler until you use powers again. You charge them up by doing damage, and you release them when you want dopamine. The first difficulty curve is taking the elevator, as you will likely split your party in half, and then one of us is going to pull the lever again, and we're going to repeat the whole process.
What?
It's not your fault. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh wait,
Okay, get off. Yeah, get off the fucking. Well,
This game is entirely about budgeting, because the main thing you spend money on is potions, and you must make an informed decision. Do I buy the regular potion for my level that heals fast for however much money, or the weakest, shittiest potion for 15 gold? The answer is always the shittiest potion, and then you
jeez.
fill every single tile of your inventory with health and mana potions. Quick
Wow.
spoiler, melee and ranged do damage. Nature and combat do the same damage at the same rate, but they cost mana. So if you're relying on magic for damage, go back. Don't do that. Also, do not ever try to alt-tab this game. It can't handle it, and you're going to lose your save.
Yeah.
However, I have room temperature IQ.
So some games are like that when it's in full screen and not in windowed mode. Can't alt tab. It causes problems.
And I'm conditioned, like a Pavlovian dog, that each time I hear that Discord notification, I am compelled to tab out and ruin everything. Proceeding with the story, you get told that you have the
What was that image?
compelled to tab
Right. I can't read
out
that.
and ruin everything. Proceeding with the story, you get told that you have the plague, and you should probably seek treatment from an elvish shrine. This does nothing, because the plague is actually caused by shard souls, which are the spirits of aborted NBA players, haunting the Planned Parenthood. No one can see them except for your party, and you're already immune because of Draven's amulet. With nothing left to do, we take the road home. Along the way, we meet an old man who is definitely not the game's antagonist. He tells us we need to stop Doomsday by reforging
Is
the
he
exact
Deckard
thing
Cain in
responsible
this?
for Doomsday and bringing it directly to the enemy leader. This is why we don't pay attention to the plot.
Wait, what? I was gonna say, like, is this guy like the Deckard Cain for this game, whereas Deckard Cain in like Diablo? But I just
Tells
glossed
us
over
we
that.
need to
Like,
stop
what?
Doomsday by reforging the exact thing responsible for Doomsday and bringing it directly
Yeah,
to
that
the enemy
confused
leader.
me.
This is why we don't pay attention to the plot, the lore, or any kind of writing in this game. This is hack and slash. This is ADHD in its purest
Okay.
form, since we gave up being hunter-gatherers. Anyway, we purify Fortress and force all the shard souls out of their host bodies. Finding nothing else, they all dash into a snake, and we get our first boss
Right.
fight, which is
Ooh.
enjoyable because it's all downhill from here. I'm gonna skip around a bunch because, honestly, this game is defined by its boss fights. Everything in
Okay.
between is relatively straightforward and not worth mentioning. The next boss fight is a Dark Wizard. These are
It's like
mortal men
Wukong
that
in a way?
have forsaken humanity by adding extra jaws to the side of their face. Originally, I was going to joke about this, but as I wrote the words Sloppenheimer in my script document, I felt deeply disgusted with myself and took a cold shower. It took us over an hour to kill him. This is
Whoa.
easily the place where most people get filtered, because every one of his
An
attacks will
hour?
one-shot you, and one of them doesn't even have a projectile. It's just hit scan, and you're dead. You have to break down each part of his shield barrier to actually damage him.
It kind of reminds me of, like, I think they called, like, the gateway boss in, what was that game? Last Epic? I think it was Last Epic, where, like, every encounter up to that boss was more or less a cakewalk, but that boss actually tested your ability to, I guess, learn the mechanics and then know affinities and stuff like that. So, yeah. But an hour? I mean, games were different back in the day.
Scan, and you're dead. You have to break down each part of his shield barrier to actually damage him, and then he can just recast it. And once you get him down to 1/3 of his health, he starts summoning his crystal. This is a DPS check that you have to save all your powers for and focus the moment it goes up. Because if you don't, it kills everyone on the map, regardless of distance. And after destroying it, you have approximately 5 seconds before he summons another. Next up is a dragon. You have to shoot with a ballista while avoiding hordes of infinitely spawning crabs. If he goes in the air, he rains down fire that burns you, the crabs, and more importantly, the ballista. This
that's not
temporarily overheats the controls. However, the fight glitched and the ballista was now permanently disabled. Half an hour into this, I wasn't planning on reloading the game. I gambled on the idea that I could reset the object state by getting the dragon to cook the controls. And it turned out that worked exactly as planned. Except this is a 2-stage boss fight, and now we have to fight his bloodied head in a narrow hallway with no cover.
I mean, that seems
Objectively,
cool.
we have been filtered, and yet, with everyone lying unconscious on the floor, we killed the dragon. How? Because for some reason, his second phase never actually kills you, and my nature mage, who was knocked out on the floor getting cooked by fireballs, was wearing a single piece of clothing with damage reflect that chunked the dragon's health for each tick of damage. Essentially, he died to a pair of slippers. What can I even say? We almost lost the first phase to a glitch, and we won the second with an exploit.
What a way to
pleasant
win.
surprise, but usually it gets better before it gets worse. And we're no longer heading downhill because we've reached the bottom. Misery has 2 definitions: borderline personality and fighting free dark wizards at the
What
same
did that
time.
say? 3 dark wizards?
Definitions: borderline
Unfollowed, blocked, added to the list of my notes of the people who have wronged me.
personality and fighting free dark wizards at the same
3
time.
dark wizards, huh?
Oh, man, this is gonna be rough. Okay, never mind, it's over.
I don't know if I can
Wait, so like, is the difficulty scaled? Because it obviously he's playing with a party, right? So had he been playing the single player, would it have been this challenging as well? If not more challenging without the help of the other people?
Gonna be rough. Okay, never mind, it's over.
I don't know if I can describe the incomprehensible pain of childbirth in a retarded
jeez.
position where you're fighting gravity, but I'll try describing something much
So this was a thing still before. Was this? I don't know when this video came out, but
childbirth in a retarded
Right.
position where you're fighting
Like,
gravity.
Fleek
But
did
I'll
a
try describing
mention
something much
about
worse.
this,
Imagine
with
giving
the
a boss
AI
the ability
stuff.
to cast a delayed explosion at your character's feet. Now make it spammable and make it affect everyone on screen. And if your characters are already dead, target them anyway. The problem of this fight isn't the free bosses spamming insta-kill area of effect attacks. The problem is that the animation to get up from being dead is longer than the animation that kills you. So that if you die in this fight, I cannot revive you. Because the second I do, you get one shot. If not by the
Right.
explosion, then by the billion insta-kill projectile beams that can clip an entire party. This fight didn't just break us, it broke the whole game. It went on for so long that eventually the game started to randomly pause, unpause, and desynchronize. Spells and AoE attacks stopped rendering, and eventually everything just grinded to a halt and
Well, that's
crashed.
annoying.
So we rage quit the game for a week, and then we got them on a second try in only half the time. I'm convinced most of my subconscious psyche was dedicated to training for the rematch, because I came back with reflex and strategy that I didn't know I had. If you can take out just one of them, the entire fight becomes
I would not hit a flaming gas tank with things that can catch on fire. That's just me personally. Like, I don't know where it's located. I would have ran. But, I mean, maybe they were in a situation where they couldn't run. Maybe. I don't know the context.
strategy that I didn't know I had. If you can take out just one of them, the entire fight becomes much more tolerable. The last fight of the game is pretty okay. I don't expect you to have any trouble. You have to kill Valdis, who is normally invincible. However, this fight takes place in Baoshan Steel Limited, and the lack of workplace safety can work to your advantage.
You got it.
Thank God. I was gonna kill myself if I rage quit.
Then we tried the
Ooh.
Broken World expansion.
I know all this. I'm not some child
Concentrate.
What the fuck
You
is
must
that?
focus if you want to learn.
Dude, this sucks.
And spoiler, it's complete dog shit. Turns out there's a good reason it's not sold anywhere online. Skip that shit. There's nothing good about it. In summary, I thoroughly recommend Dungeon Siege 2. It will test your friendship, and it will either wither away into ash because you are not pure of heart, or cement and grow stronger. Because one day, you will play a competitive MOBA together. And if you're not prepared for that, you're going to be calling each other ethnic slurs for the last time. Because your friendship is over. You can play with up to 4 players. It's incredibly fun. I'll try and include instructions on how to patch the game in the description below, but in case this is not accurate, skill issue. Figure it out. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. I've been reading a lot of comments saying, lol, Seth isn't uploading. He's busy digging tunnels under the synagogue. These jokes hurt my feelings and caused me to self-harm. A warm thanks to the many members of a Merchants Guild generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
I was expecting a video about Dizzy. I mean, which we got for a quarter, not maybe even less. But I was not expecting Dungeon Siege 2. Yeah, I guess that was like, I don't think that was the Dizzy game I played, because I feel like I would have recognized the name. But yeah, that was another great Seth video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.